Hey, and welcome to this episode of the Hustle Report by Profit Tool. In today's dynamic digital landscape where, flexibility and autonomy are more valuable than ever, many are searching for smart ways to generate income, ways that truly leverage their existing skills. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most compelling and, well, rapidly expanding avenues for achieving that, virtual assistants.
That's right. And for this deep dive, our mission is really to move beyond just the basics. We're not just defining virtual assistants, we're aiming to give you a strategic blueprint. We'll explore the core mechanics, yes, but more importantly, we'll unpack the benefits people don't always talk about, candidly address the real challenges, provide some concrete financial insights, and, crucially, lay out a clear, actionable path for you, not just to get started, but to actually thrive in this field. The goal here is to provide a kind of shortcut to understanding the, let's say, strategic value of virtual assistance and how it can genuinely be a game changer for your financial ambitions.
Okay, let's really drill down into this then. When most people hear virtual assistant, they might picture, I don't know, someone just answering phones or scheduling appointments remotely. But what is virtual assistance really at its core? And how does it actually function as well, a powerful remote side hustle that goes beyond those basic ideas?
Yeah, that's a great distinction to make because it's honestly far more expansive than just basic admin tasks. At its core, virtual assistance is about providing specialized remote support, could be administrative, creative, or technical to clients. These are typically entrepreneurs, small businesses, maybe even larger companies sometimes. The key differentiator isn't just that it's remote, it's more about becoming a kind of strategic partner.
Hmm.
You're often not just ticking off tasks, you're solving problems, you're streamlining processes, freeing up a client's valuable time so they can focus on, their main business. Yes, you're operating from your own space, your home office, or wherever, but you're integrated into their workflow, often as a vital component.
Right. So it's less about being a general helper and more about delivering specific valuable skills. What kind of tasks are we really talking about here? Can you give some tangible examples?
Precisely. And the range of tasks is incredibly diverse, honestly, and it's changing all the time. We're talking about everything from, say, sophisticated email funnel management
Yeah.
using platforms like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit, maybe social media strategy and content scheduling with tools like Buffer or Hootsuite. It often includes things like in-depth market research, data analysis, definitely content creation could be drafting blog posts, designing visuals in Canva, maybe even Figma for more complex stuff, managing project pipelines in Asana or Trello, optimizing CRM systems like HubSpot, even basic technical support like website updates or troubleshooting issues. The real beauty here is you can specialize. You can become an expert in a specific tool or specific business function, and that flexibility lets you craft a role that, genuinely aligns with your strengths and interests. That makes it a really attractive and hopefully sustainable income stream.
Okay, here's where it gets really strategic, I think. Beyond that basic definition, what are the truly compelling advantages, the things that make someone go, okay, this is for me? We hear flexibility all the time, but what are the less obvious, maybe tangible benefits that make this a genuinely viable career path or a significant side hustle?
Well, you're right. Flexibility is key, but it isn't just about choosing your hours, like working early or late. It's really about choosing your life. You have the freedom, potentially, to design your work around your family commitments or travel or other passions. This autonomy for many people is honestly more valuable than a traditional salary bump. I mean, imagine being able to make it to every school event or maybe work from a different city each month if you wanted to. That's a real tangible benefit.
Makes sense. And what about leveraging skills? You mentioned specializing. Can someone really take a whole mix of experiences and apply them effectively here?
Oh, absolutely. And this is often where people have that kind of aha moment. You're not stuck in one rigid job description. Virtual assistance allows for incredibly diverse skill use. So if you've got a knack for organization, maybe project management or detailed admin support is your thing. If you're a natural writer, content creation or copy editing could be your niche, tech savvy. Maybe you specialize in website maintenance or email automations or even becoming like a Zapier expert connecting different apps for clients. It's about taking your unique blend of talents, maybe even skills you thought were just hobbies, and packaging them up as valuable services businesses need.
Right, right. And the remote work environment. I mean, it seems almost standard now, but what's the deeper impact of ditching the commute?
Yeah, it's more than just saving on gas or train fare, though that's nice. It's about reclaiming hours of your day, hours you weren't getting paid for. It often reduces stress, and for many, it increases productivity because you're in an environment you actually control. Think about the mental energy you save not dealing with traffic jams or, annoying office distractions. That energy can then go into client work or learning new skills or just your own well-being. It's often a significant quality of life improvement.
Interesting. And beyond the direct benefits to you, to VA, does working this way open up any strategic doors, like for career growth or professional connections?
It absolutely can, and this is often an underappreciated perk. Building an expanded professional network. Unlike a typical job where you might interact mostly with colleagues in one specific industry, as a VA, you're often collaborating with clients across totally different sectors. You might be helping, say, a tech startup one month and then a wellness coach the next. This naturally broadens your understanding of different business models, different challenges, and it exposes you to new professional circles. These connections can lead to referrals, partnerships, maybe even future opportunities you'd never have encountered otherwise. It's a really organic way to learn and expand your sphere.
Okay, and the big question, the one everyone's probably thinking, what's the actual income potential look like? Can this truly be a substantial extra income or maybe even replace a full-time job?
It definitely has the potential to be a substantial income. The key thing is the income potential is directly tied to the value you provide. It's not just about the hours you put in, but the impact you make for your client. For many, yeah, it starts as supplementary income, maybe paying off some bills, but with strategic niche selection, developing in-demand skills, it absolutely has the potential to replace or sometimes even exceed a traditional full-time salary. It really shifts your mindset to understanding you're selling solutions and expertise, not just your time by the hour.
Okay, the benefits sound compelling, definitely. But it's crucial we look at the full picture, right? We need balance. What are some of the common risks or maybe the significant challenges people often run into when they first dive into virtual assistants? And how can they prepare for those?
That's a really important point to cover. One common hurdle, and it's often underestimated, I think, is potential isolation. While working remotely gives you that amazing freedom, the lack of, daily face-to-face interaction with colleagues can sometimes lead to feelings of loneliness or just feeling disconnected. It's not necessarily for everyone, and it does require a conscious effort to build some kind of virtual community. That might be through online groups, professional networks, or even just making sure you have regular video calls with clients, not just emails.
That makes sense. And what about income stability? Is it like a regular paycheck or can it be more unpredictable?
Yeah, income consistency is definitely another significant challenge to be aware of. Unlike a fixed salary you get every month, your income as a virtual assistant can fluctuate, sometimes quite a bit, especially when you're just starting out. Projects end, clients might need less help for a while, or finding new work might take longer than you expect. This makes really smart financial management absolutely critical. It means things like building up an emergency fund, budgeting carefully for potentially leaner months, and always proactively managing your client pipeline to try and keep a steady flow of work coming in.
And without a traditional boss or office setup, I imagine self-discipline must be huge.
Yeah.
How do you cultivate that when you essentially become your own manager?
It truly is paramount. The need for strong self-discipline is, well, it's non-negotiable, really.
Yeah.
Without that set schedule, the commute forcing you out the door, or colleagues physically around you, it can be easy for motivation to dip, or for the lines between work and personal life to get really blurry. You effectively become your own accountability partner. So developing routines, setting clear daily or weekly goals, minimizing distractions, which is harder than it sounds at home, and even just creating a dedicated workspace can be vital for staying focused and productive. It's like a muscle you have to consciously build and maintain.
Okay. And how dependent are you on constantly finding new clients or making sure current ones stick around? That sounds like it could be a constant background task, almost a job in itself.
Well, that leads directly to the issue of client dependence. Yeah. Your entire income stream relies on clients needing your services and choosing to hire you. This can inherently make your income feel unpredictable sometimes. If a big client project finishes, you could see a significant drop in your earnings until you find new work to fill that gap. It really demands a proactive approach. You need to be thinking about marketing, networking, and constantly building a pipeline of potential clients, rather than just reacting when a project ends.
So it's not just about doing the work you have now, but also about constantly looking ahead and evolving your skills to stay relevant.
Precisely. That's maybe the final drawback, or challenge, we should mention, and it's one that often separates the VAs who really thrive long-term from those who maybe struggle after a while. It's the necessity for continuous skill set evolution. I mean, the digital world changes incredibly fast, right? New software pops up, client needs shift, entire industries evolve. To stay competitive, to be able to command those higher rates, you must be committed to ongoing learning. This means actively seeking out new skills, maybe getting certifications, mastering new tools, staying up to date with industry trends in your niche. Those who don't adapt, frankly, can find themselves getting left behind relatively quickly.
Okay, so after weighing the pros and cons, let's circle back to the money. What does this all really mean for your wallet? What kind of income can someone realistically expect, especially if they're aiming beyond just basic tasks? Let's talk like actual numbers if we can, and what makes the difference in earnings.
Sure, we can definitely provide some clear benchmarks based on research. According to data from organizations like the International Virtual Assistants Association, the IVAA, the average hourly rate for more general virtual assistants typically falls somewhere between, say, $25 and $60 per hour. Now, that's generally for standard administrative tasks or more general support roles.
Okay, $25 to $60 is a pretty wide range, though. What's the potential ceiling look like? And more importantly, what genuinely separates a VA earning at that lower end from someone commanding significantly more? Is it just about years on the job, or is there something more strategic at play?
That's the critical question, isn't it? And while, yes, experience definitely plays a part, the real jump in rates where you see people charging upwards of $7,500, sometimes even $150 an hour or more, usually comes from specialization and the ability to show a tangible return on investment for the client. It's about solving specific high-value problems. So, for example, a VA who positions themselves as, let's say, an e-commerce conversion optimization specialist, specifically for Shopify stores, someone who uses analytics and testing to demonstrably increase sales for their clients. Well, they can command far more than someone offering general website updates, even if some underlying tech skills overlap. It's about identifying and solving a significant pain point for a particular type of client, not just performing a generic task. Other factors pushing rates higher include offering highly specialized services, maybe advanced CRM management, complex data analysis and reporting, building marketing funnels, or niche-specific content strategy. It's really about moving from being seen as a task doer to being seen as a strategic consultant or expert. Your perceived value, the complexity of the problems you solve, and the specific in-demand skills you bring directly correlate to your earning potential.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for those listening now who are thinking, right, this sounds like something I could really get into, what's the strategic step-by-step approach? How do you actually launch and build a successful virtual assistance business, not just sort of dabble in it?
Right, let's break it down. The very first step, and it sounds simple, but it's really foundational, is to clearly identify your high-value skills. And don't just make a list of everything you're good at. Think critically about what unique combination of your talents, maybe from past jobs, maybe even hobbies, can solve a specific recurring problem for businesses. Are you incredibly meticulous with details? Maybe you're great at crafting compelling stories or sales copy. Perhaps you're a wizard with a particular software platform. Pinpoint those unique abilities that have a clear, marketable business application.
So finding that sweet spot between what you're good at and what the market actually needs. Okay, what comes next once you've kind of identified those strengths?
Once you have a clearer sense of your core strengths, the next really crucial step is to choose your niche. This might actually be the most important strategic decision you make early on. Instead of trying to be a generalist VA who does a little bit of everything for anyone, really try to focus. Focus on a specific area or a specific industry or even a specific type of problem. For example, you could specialize in social media management, but specifically for, say, local restaurants, or content writing, but just for SaaS startups, or maybe technical support just for online coaches using a platform like Kajabi. Niching down like this makes your marketing so much sharper, it allows you to become a genuine expert faster, and frankly, it justifies higher rates because you become the go-to solution for a very particular need.
Right, becoming the specialist. Okay, so you've honed in on that niche. How do you then actually present yourself to potential clients? How do you create that professional first impression online?
Exactly. That leads directly to building your online presence. Think of this as your digital shop window, your portfolio, and your sales pitch all rolled into one neat package. At the very minimum, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Make sure it clearly highlights your specialized VA services using the kinds of keywords potential clients in your niche might actually search for. You should also seriously consider setting up a simple but professional-looking website. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it should showcase your services, maybe some testimonials once you have them, and perhaps case studies, even if they're hypothetical examples to start, showing how you would solve a problem. Posting consistent, valuable content on platforms where your target clients hang out can also really help establish your authority over time.
Makes sense. And the tricky part, pricing.
Yeah.
How do you figure out what to charge? You don't want to undervalue yourself, but you also don't want to price yourself out of the market, especially at the start.
Yeah, that's a common hurdle. You need to set your rates strategically. It's not just picking a number out of thin air. Do some research. See what other VAs in your chosen niche with roughly similar skills and experience levels are charging. And importantly, look beyond just simple hourly rates. Think about value-based pricing or offering service packages. I mean, if you know you can help a client solve a problem that's costing them, say, $10,000 a month, then charging just $50 an hour might actually be significantly undervaluing the impact you're making. Don't be afraid to charge what your expertise is worth, but also be realistic and understand the market expectations for the specific value you're delivering.
Okay, solid advice. So you've got your niche, your online presence is starting to shape up, you have an idea on pricing. Where do you actually find those first few clients? Are there specific platforms or places that are better than others to start?
Absolutely. A really good starting point for many is to join freelance platforms, websites like Upwork or Fiverr, or maybe even more specialized platforms depending on your niche. Things like Fancy Hands or Allay Solutions exist too. These can be excellent resources initially. They basically act as marketplaces connecting clients who need help with freelancers who have the skills. Now, each platform has its own kind of vibe and rules, so it's worth exploring a few to see which one feels like the best fit for your niche and your preferred way of working. They can definitely help reduce that initial friction of finding paying clients.
Okay, so you've signed up for, say, Upwork or Fiverr. How do you actually stand out? There must be tons of people on there. What makes a profile truly compelling and grab a potential client's attention?
That's exactly right. And this is where crafting a compelling profile becomes absolutely critical. On these platforms, your profile is your first impression. It's your sales pitch. So don't just list your skills like a resume. Frame them as solutions to client problems. Instead of just saying manage a social media, maybe say something like drives engagement and boosts visibility for your niche businesses through strategic Instagram content. See the difference. Make sure you include a professional-looking headshot, a really clear headline that states your specialty, and a summary section that highlights your niche, your unique value proposition, and clearly explains how you can help clients achieve their specific goals. And as soon as you get them, even from small initial projects, incorporate testimonials or positive feedback. Social proof is powerful.
Right, focus on the benefit to the client. Okay, so the profile's looking good. Is it then just a waiting game? Do you just sit back and hope clients find you? Or is there an active marketing piece that needs to happen constantly?
No, definitely not just a waiting game. The final step, and it's arguably an ongoing one, is that you need to actively market yourself. Don't just passively wait for clients to stumble upon your profile. Beyond just having a presence on those platforms, you should be actively marketing your services through your professional social media channels. LinkedIn is usually excellent for B2B services like VA work. Engage in online communities, Facebook groups, forums where your ideal target clients might be hanging out. Provide value, answer questions, become known. You might even consider some targeted cold outreach, maybe via email or LinkedIn messages, offering a specific solution to a specific pain point you've identified. And don't underestimate networking, both virtual and, if possible, in person. Building a steady stream of clients really requires consistent, proactive effort in showcasing the value you offer.
Okay, so to kind of sum up this whole deep dive then, virtual assistance is clearly way more than just a simple side hustle. It looks like a really strategic pathway to designing a work life that offers incredible autonomy, flexibility, and significant income potential. It truly empowers you to leverage your unique skills on your own terms. But as we've definitely discussed, that freedom comes hand in hand with needing strong self-discipline, a commitment to continuous skill growth, and a really proactive, almost entrepreneurial approach to finding and keeping clients.
Exactly. And as you, the listener, consider this journey, maybe think about how virtual assistance isn't just about earning extra cash, though that's great. It's potentially about redefining what work actually means for you. It really can open doors to diverse connections, enriching experiences, and ultimately maybe a level of financial independence and lifestyle freedom that's pretty hard to achieve in a traditional 9-to-5 structure. So maybe the provocative thought I'd like to leave you with is this. In a world that's increasingly automated, how can your unique human skills, your creativity, your empathy, your problem-solving ability be leveraged strategically to solve high-value problems for businesses, creating not just income, but genuine freedom and maybe even real impact along the way?
That's definitely a powerful thought to mull over. If you're interested in more cash building tips, training hustles, and expert insights like the ones we've talked about today, you can sign up for the Hustle Report. That's our weekly side hustle newsletter. And remember, there are other great side hustles we cover over on our site too, things like matched betting or selling digital products. even creating a YouTube channel if that's your thing. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.